What's up, everybody? Today we are going to be doing a Marvel Rival tier list with the beta being done, the closed beta. I did get access with it being done. I wanted to kind of talk about the game a little bit, talk about the heroes, and I think the biggest problem is going to be their hero balancing, so I wanted to talk about that right away. So what I wanted to do is talk about the heroes while doing a tier list. This tier list is going to be scaled on the sense of their roles in their class. So just because a tank, specifically a tank, might be an S tier, that doesn't mean they're the strongest character in the game. They're just probably one of the stronger tanks, in my opinion. And yeah, this is subject to change overall, but yeah, I enjoyed my time with the game in general. It was a fun game, very much like I said in my video, reminds me of Overwatch. I'm excited to see what they add to it. The two characters, like I said, Thor and Jeff the Landshark, were both great additions in general. But yeah, I am very excited to see where this game goes forward. The cast is already pretty good in my opinion, and they've added some pretty weird characters. Another weird character that I'm positive they're gonna add at one point is Squirrel Girl, because she's just a good comic book character. But yeah, I'm excited to see the rest of this roster. So let's get into it. We're gonna go, like I said, by role. So we're gonna go tank. First role, tank was the most underwhelming role in the beta for me. I just felt like overall they didn't do enough damage, and in the sense of scaling, they probably had the wider range of scale of how strong they were. So let me break down these tiers before we do it. Alright, so this is where we're going to go for the tiers, because it's kind of an easy way to tell basically what I mean by them. So S is going to be instant impact. What I mean by instant impact, I basically mean easy to pick up and play, very easy to pick up and play, and will automatically do a lot of work just because of how easy they are, number one, and how effective they are as a character. A is going to be still making an impact, so you're still a very impactful character, but in the sense of how much it takes for you to make an impact, what you have to do to make an impact, compared to your S rank counterparts, is just a little bit harder and takes a little bit more thinking, in my opinion. B is going to be good characters, just impact scales. So basically, some points they will be doing a great amount of damage, and some points they just won't be because of how they are. C is going to be okay characters to niche. What I mean by niche, basically someone does your job better than you, and you don't fit the job that you do on the game. Someone does it better than you, or someone does it way easier than you. So yeah. And then D is need work. I think these are the worst characters in the game, and they definitely need to do something about them. So let's start this off with the ranking of the tanks. Like I said, we are going to do Hulk as a D rank. I think Hulk is the worst character easily, by far. Easily the worst character in the game. Especially since Thor got added. He is a melee focused character. His stun, his all of his abilities are based on melee. He has a leaping ability, which is for mobility, which is a pretty good ability. He can knock people out of the air with that, which is kind of cool. But overall, his punches, his left clicks, and his main attack doesn't do enough damage. His E, which is like you basically can stun someone. You can stun someone, but you can't do any damage to them after. I think if they fix that to where maybe you can do a scaled amount of damage on someone, that would be kind of cool. Or even if you're able to just do a little bit of damage, or they're stuck in that phase for a little bit and you're able to do damage. Like if that was a finishing off move for him, I think that would be a good way to help him as well. But yeah, and then his shield move, I think it makes him stronger. I think that's the whole point of it, but I don't feel like the Hulk was ever strong or even a threat compared to his tank counterparts. When I show you the other tanks, you'll definitely understand. But yeah, Hulk easily the weakest character in the game, not even just the weakest tank. I would actually put Doctor Strange at probably S tier to A. And I'm still probably going to go S tier. Easy to play, plays very similar to Reinhardt, has a barrier. His left clicks are good, and then once you get them to the point where you reach a maximum percentage of like your energy, you have to explode and let out your energy, which is a very powerful move in itself. It's super good when you have it at very high percentages. Overall, he does a lot of damage. He's one of those characters that I feel like once your team starts rolling, he is he starts to put in even more damage. He can easily take out healers. Easily can like go through a back line and take out their healers if need to be, and he can control the tempo of every single game. I think it's to the point where like if you are playing competitive, Doctor Strange is probably a must pick just because of how much damage he deflects. He also has a very good mobility move where he's able to fly, which is another good added bonus to him as well. So overall, I think that Doctor Strange is probably number one, the easiest tank to probably get your grasp with, and also can give you impact right off the jump. The only thing that you might have problems with is just his left click, and even that, I think that's still easier to get because it's more of a mid-range, close range. Then let's go to another tank, which is Groot. I think Groot is good in the sense of like in the maps that he's really good, like the close-in maps, he's really, really good with that, with the sense of you having the walls and stuff like that. I think his damage, his left click is he probably has one of the higher damages, just regular output there is with his left click. And I think he's honestly probably one of the better tanks. The only reason why I probably wouldn't have him a little bit higher is because some of the maps do not kind of fit him because they're not close quarter, and his whole gameplay is built off of his walls. His E walls more for blocking damage and stuff like that, compared to his shift walls are more for helping you with damage because they do attack people when they're in front of the walls. So overall, I think Groot is probably I'm struggling with. He might be S tier. I think he's an A tier character. I think he's A. So I'm gonna go A with that. All right, and then I believe Magneto is the next tank. Yes. Okay, so Magneto's kind of the harder one to scale because Magneto by himself with no Scarlet Witch is probably low A tier. The way he plays is like he has a bubble that he can send to himself or send to his teammates, and if that bubble gets up, it builds up like this thing on his back, and it gives him like this right click ability that he can shoot as like a long range shot, and actually does pretty good damage. But the thing that makes him super good is when he's with Scarlet Witch, he gets the sword. And I would say that probably just when he gets that ability alone, he's easily S tier. He's easily S tier. I would say he's probably high A tier just alone, but with the sword, S tier easily because the sword does a lot of damage. It's very good up close as well as mid range. If I had to look at it, I think that Magneto and Groot are about the same level. Groot doesn't need anything to be good. He doesn't need Rocket or Jeff to be good. His tag team ability really helps his teams that his characters that he teams up with more than him. Where Magneto, it kind of changes the whole entire character. He's a 10 times a better character with Scarlet Witch. I think that if someone picks Scarlet Witch, and you're playing tank, you should probably pick Magneto because it's really a good pick. Penny Parker, who I was low on at the beginning of this beta, I probably would have said she was an okay to a niche character, but I'm probably going to go with a B tier character. She's definitely an overall good character. One of the higher damage outputs in the sense of left clicks in the tank role. It just takes a lot to be valuable with her. You have to set up her traps, which she has like these mines that you set up. Then she also has this shift ability where it deploys mines in a certain area. And when you get that going, if you understand that form, I think she's a really good tank. She's not really, I could say probably, so out of the people I've ranked, she could be a solo. I mean, these people can be main solo tanks. Groot definitely, and Doctor Strange. I think Magneto's more of an off tank. Penny is 100% an off tank. She's definitely better with another tank because she doesn't do anything but help herself. In the sense of she's more of a focused damage tank than blocking or doing anything like that. But I think that Penny is a pretty good character. I think that she's one of those characters that has high impact when everything's clicking right. She has one of the worst ultimates. That's probably why I put her lower than anything else. Lower than the other ones. But yeah, I think overall Penny is a very good tank. I think she's underrated compared to most. And then I believe Venom is the next one. Yep. Okay, so Venom and the role of tank is 100% an S tier tank. He is probably, out of all of the tanks, the best one you can solo with. He plays very similar to Wrecking Ball. If you played Overwatch, he dives in on the enemies, and then he has his own deployable shields that he can deploy at any point. So he's basically hard to kill. He does alright damage in the sense, in the scale of tanks. I would probably say he's in the middle role, right underneath Groot and Doctor Strange and Magneto. He's probably right underneath them. Like Magneto, all depends on the sword, like I said. But he does pretty good damage. He has great escapability. He can survive all by himself. His survivability is very good as well. I think he's probably the best if you wanted to run a set where just one tank. He is the best solo tank in the game, probably next to Doctor Strange. But Doctor Strange doesn't do as much survivability as Venom. But yeah, Venom is definitely S tier. I think Venom is one of the stronger characters in the game as well too. So it's just not him being up here for tank. Thor, I think Thor is about where Penny Parker is. I think he takes a lot to be good. He's definitely an off tank, not a main tank. He takes a lot to be good, but he can get rolling. The one thing that I like about Thor is he has survivability, like Venom. He's definitely one of the characters that you can survive with if you understand how his shields work and everything like that. He has a pretty good ultimate, one of the stronger in the sense of like killing ultimates on the tank side. If you get people at a low range, that's probably the best time to use it because he can finish off people. So yeah, I would probably say that Thor is a B tier character. His throwing, he has a right click that he throws his hammer. That move does a lot of damage. His move where he goes into like this hammer stage and he floats around and throws out his hammer does a lot of damage. So that's really good. He has, like, besides just all close up moves, he has a couple range moves. I think he's good and can have impact overall. That's probably why I'm keeping him at B. I think when I think of Penny Parker, him and Penny Parker are roughly about the same in my book. All right, so let's move on to the DPS. A lot of these DPS, I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of these DPS are going to be high. DPS is probably the strongest role in this game, in my opinion. And yeah, so a lot of DPS have mobility, a lot of DPS have escapability as well. So for starting it off, we're going to start off with the Punisher. I believe the Punisher is an S tier character. I think he's probably the most S tier character in this game. If you played any first person shooter game, you can click Punisher and instantly have effect in the game. It's just, that's how he's that much easy. He's that easy to play. His gun barely moves, so he plays like a first person shooter. He does crazy damage for someone who's so easy to pick up and play. He's probably one of the higher damage characters in the sense of that scale. And he has an amazing ult, probably one of the best ults in the sense of you're able to move with it, you're still able to play like a normal character with the ultimate, and you're also able to it gets a lot of kills, like multi-kills and stuff like that. I think the Punisher is the most easiest character. If there's anybody in the game that needs to be nerfed, it's this guy, easily. I would put Storm. This is crazy. I think Storm is probably A tier, just because of how strong her ultimate is. And if you're good with her shots, she does a lot of damage because you have to hit directly. I only struggle with putting Storm this high because I think about it in the sense of like Iron Man's kind of a better pick just because of how easy he is to play compared to Storm, in my opinion. But I think Storm's ultimate is so good. Like, it's probably the best ultimate. She doesn't have to be next to you to kill you. Like, she literally can pop it with her teammates, and then it allows her to set up wherever she wants to put the ultimate at. Her left click does a good amount of damage, but you do have to be direct with it overall. And her ability is really good. When you have like a low enemies, as well as a right click, like that lightning streak that she shoots out is super good. It does a lot of damage. So if you're good aim wise with her, I think she's probably, yeah, she's easily A tier just because that ultimate is so good. So yeah, Storm, I'm glad with Storm being at A tier. I would definitely say she was at A tier. Hela S tier. I think in the sense of instant impact, Punisher is a lot easier than Hela. Don't get me wrong, because you have to have at least better aim with Hela. But overall, Hela if you can aim, If you can shoot ahead, Hell is so good. Her left click are amazing. You pretty much don't even have to use any of her other like stuff. She has a escapability move with shift where she flies away and she's invulnerable in that state. She has an amazing ultimate where she oversees the battlefield and she just basically drops bombs on people, and like if you shoot her out of it, you don't kill her. She just gets out of the ultimate. So she's Hell is probably one of the stronger, like easily one of the stronger DPS. She is harder compared to the other DPS that I'm gonna probably have in here because they're just easier to play overall. But I just think that her damage output is outrageous, man. Like she doesn't need to be nerfed in this because it does take skill. But if there's a good Hell on your team, it's kind of like having a good Widowmaker in Overwatch, man. Like you're just gonna be getting headshot, you're gonna be killed, you're not gonna be able to stop her because she's just going to be able to get away from everything. So yeah, Hell is definitely that. Black Panther. This is the one that I'm probably gonna have the most hardest with besides Spider-Man. But I think Black Panther's a B tier character. He takes a lot to be good, a lot to be like get rolling and get going. You have to hit his spears correctly, then you have to slice through him. There's like a whole format to him. He's kind of like Genji that you have to do. But I feel like if you one of those players who know how to play Black Panther, you can definitely be good. But it just takes so much to kill someone unless you're like in their backline and stuff like that and focus on their backline. It takes so much to kill compared to these other characters I'm comparing them to. Punisher is so easy to kill people with. Hell is so easy to kill with people with. You don't have to even get in your face with both of these characters. Storm, exactly the same thing. Just so much easier to kill people with, and you don't have to get in their face with it. Compared to Black Panther, you have to know the rhythm, have to hit everything, have to connect with everything, have to figure out what your next move is. You have to go in, go out. Like that's your whole entire game plan with him. Like it takes a lot. And this is like a counterpart to Black Panther, who I think is kind of similar in her gameplay, but she's, in my opinion, more effective. I'll put Magic over Black Panther. And the reason why I put Magic over Black Panther, she's more easier to play and pick up and play. Once you understand her shield mechanic with her shift and how she builds up shields, she becomes even stronger. She has escapability, just like she plays just like Black Panther. She has to get in, get out. But she does outrageous damage compared to Black Panther with her left click. Her sword is so good. When you get in back line and start actually attacking a healer, she's completely wrecking. She completely wrecks the back line. And then with her and Black Panther, they get a portal, so it kind of makes her and Black Panther a little bit stronger. I think when they're matched up together, they're actually a pretty good DPS line because it does make Black Panther get a portal as well. So Black Panther gets another escapability move. But overall, yeah, I just think that Magic by herself is just a really good DPS character. She does exactly in the sense of what Black Panther does: get in, get some kills, get out. But she has an amazing ult. That's another thing I didn't talk about Black Panther. Black Panther's ultimate is underwhelming. It's probably one of the worst ultimates in the game. And she has an amazing ultimate where she has the exact same abilities as she normally does. They're just more enhanced as her Dark Char form. So yeah, I would easily put Magic up there above Black Panther, and it's like a good example of the scale in my opinion. Like I think Black Panther needs a little bit tweaking. I think he's like one of those characters that is always going to be technical, where only certain people are going to be good with him. But I think he needs a little bit of tweaking as well. All right, Iron Man. I'm hesitant to put Iron Man at S tier, but I think he is, man. I really do. But do I think he's better than Storm? I do. I'm gonna put Iron Man here. Might be the only one that's problematic. These two might switch depending on the person. But Iron Man is just so easy to pick up and play. The first game I played with him, I dropped like 20 some kills, very easy. He has splash damage and he does more damage than Storm, which is outrageous to me. They need to scale that. He should do less damage than Storm because he has splash damage. Direct hits, maybe he can do more damage than Storm, but not splash damage hits. He has Unibi, which is a great finisher move for killing people. It's kind of like Echo's like laser shot. It doesn't have the same properties or anything like that, but it's kind of like that move. And his E move, where he basically makes all of his regular left clicks everything stronger, is super good. Overall, I think Iron Man is a really, really good player. I mean, a really good character. He has an amazing ultimate. His ultimate can kill groups of people. the his flying mechanic is pretty easy in my opinion. It's flying in this game overall is easy as hell. But yeah, I think Iron Man's just so easy, man. I think he's one of those easier characters to pick up and play. Like I said, first game I got 23 kills with him. It wasn't hard. It wasn't anything challenging or anything like that. All right. Spider-Man. This is another one that would probably might be a little bit hard. I think Spider-Man in a good hands is probably an A tier character, but overall I think he's a B tier character. And the reason why is he's a good character, but it takes so much to get impact, man. Magic, if I taught you how to do magic shields, you can pretty much give better impact with magic. Same thing with Storm. I don't really have to teach you none with Storm. Storm is kind of pick up and easy to play, and she has a really good ultimate. Spider-Man is hard, takes a lot of work to get good with him, and you have to pick your targets compared to like these people. You do have to pick your targets, but you can brawl with the best of them. All these characters above Spider-Man can brawl with the best. They can brawl with the tanks, they can brawl with the DPS, and they can brawl with the healers. Spider-Man really only has to stick to the weaker characters. He really can't take on any tanks. It's kind of pointless when a Spider-Man is over here attacking a tank because he's not going to do any damage. I just think it takes a lot for him to be good. But overall, like when you see a good Spider-Man, it's pretty crazy. People will be in your back line, kill you in like 2 or 3 hits, and they're like, what the heck? How's this fool doing this? Because when I play this fool, it's not like this. But yeah, he's easily the hardest character in the game to play. And for me, that's why I probably have him at that, where he's the hardest character to play. Like, and the impact is not that much, in my opinion, unless you go crazy with them and you're good with them. Compared to this character, Scarlet Witch, easiest character, easiest DPS to play. She's probably the highest. She's probably up there with like freaking Punisher if we had to really like rank them. Easiest DPS to play. She plays like Mora and attack Mora. She basically, you just have to be in the radius of someone and she sucks them. She has a long range ability with a right click, so she's able to shoot you. She doesn't just need to be close to you. She has an escapability ability that literally, like, you can use both charges. She has 2 charges with it, and you can use both charges back to back. So like, there's situations where I was like, I'm gonna just go up in here and try to kill someone, and I had 2 charges, so I killed the person, and I was in front of their whole team, and all I did was just shift out twice, and I got to my team, I got the heals and everything like that. So like, her escapability is ridiculous. Another thing that I don't think Scarlet Witch players, I didn't see a lot of Scarlet Witch players taking advantage of. She can fly or float, I guess you would say. And people weren't doing that. She's definitely harder to hit when you do that. When you're floating and stuff like that, and trying to suck people, suck the health out of people. So she's really a hard target when it comes to that. And she has probably one of the best ults in the game, where she basically she like self-destructs and she kills anything that's in her radius. She kills it. Like, it's not even like, oh, they might be alive. If you're in her radius, you're gonna die. So yeah, Scarlet Witch. If there's anybody who needs tweaking, like I said, besides Punisher, is Scarlet Witch. I think these 2 need to be tweaked. They're too easy to pick up and play, and they're the best characters in the game. Like, they're just too easy to play, and they're the best characters in the game. Star-Lord, I would say S tier character. A bad Star-Lord can exist. Don't get me wrong. He's not easy. He's not probably in the sense of like someone you can pick up and play right off the jump and be like that impactful unless you understand him. He is easy though. Don't get me wrong. He is easy overall. Like, I can see, but I've seen so many Star-Lords that get on him and they're just like terrible with him. Don't even know what to do. His E move, where he spins around like Reaper, is a great move to finish off players. His normal move of shooting out like blasters, it shoots at a fast rate, so his ultimate comes faster than anybody else. His ultimate is OP because it's like Soldier 76. It locks onto anybody. It's auto aim, and you just freaking mob people, and you also fly at the same time. So it's just like, he's super good. I think Star-Lord is another person that should be tweaked. He's just too, in my opinion, his kit is way easy to pick up and play compared to like Magic or Storm. Even Iron Man, I would say he's even harder to pick. I mean, Iron Man's harder to pick up than him, and he has higher value than them. Namor. I was looking at this list, and I don't think anybody's going to be okay characters. I really don't. Neymar. He might be the closest to it, but I think Neymar's about a B tier character. Yeah, I think he is. I think he's a B tier character in my opinion. Um, he has high value when you get him going. It does take a lot to have impact. When you do get his left clicks and right clicks hitting, he is an A tier character. That's why I was thinking about that. Because if you have a marksman on this, or if you have someone that actually is good at hit scan, Neymar's probably that. He has a great escapability move with his shift where he turns into a bubble. His little minions do a lot of damage. They're just easy to kill. But if no one focuses them, you can definitely do a lot of damage with Neymar. I just think it takes a lot compared to his counterpart, which is Hela. And like I said, if you can hit scan shots, he's A tier easily. I think Neymar is one of those characters that all depend on skill. These characters in general all depend on how good you are. You could these characters could be A tier depending on how like good you are, in my opinion. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it on the healers. All right, I mean on the DPS. All right, so let's get to the healers. I think Loki might be the only one that does this. And I think I just want to put Loki here because I don't think he's that good in the sense of his healer counterparts. Loki's a cool healer. He has a cool concept. He has a lot of heals, but it just takes a lot to actually like do good healings with them. I'm actually pretty good with Loki. He has like a move backstab that you're never probably going to use ever. I think he's an okay character, but he's really, really niche. Like he's one of those characters that like there's going to be certain players that are really good with him, and I think like he'll probably have the lower pickability out of the healers easily. Mantis probably S tier. She doesn't. You can get instant value with her. She takes a little bit more effort compared to the other healers I'm probably gonna rank her with. To get better with and master. I would probably say she's one of the technical healers because of her sleep. But yeah, she's an S tier character. Her heal output is outrageous. Her ultimate is good because she has mobility, and she's harder to kill. Yeah, overall I would say Mantis is probably an S tier. Rocket is an A tier. Rocket and his partnership with Punisher makes him up there too as well. Rocket's ultimate is super good. It gives you double damage pretty much. His healing is super easy to use. You just have to get. So yeah, I think that Rocket overall is really a good healer in general. His heals, like I said, they're easy to do. You just gotta pretty much right click in someone's area, or right click in someone's area. His gun, he's probably one of the high output damage healers. His gun is amazing. So yeah, Rocket is good. All right. Luna Snow. I'll probably put Luna Snow at S tier. She has probably the best ultimate in the sense of healers. Her ultimate is super good. She has great damage output. Great healing output. She pretty much does everything you need out of a healer, and she can damage as well. Easily probably the only healer that I'll probably say that can solo heal in this game. She's that good in the sense of that. So yeah, I would say, yeah, Luna Snow is up there. Adam Warlock is probably about a B tier. I like Adam Warlock. His heal output is pretty good. His damage output is even better. He kind of plays more like Zenyatta than any other healer in this game. But yeah, I just think that his heal is really good, but compared to his healing counterparts, he doesn't heal that great. And his ultimate, I think this is a cool ultimate in the grand scheme of like you res people, and I think they did it great in the sense of you only res people with half health, because people die really quick after they get res. It's not really that effective like the Mercy mega res. But overall I just think that Adam Warlock is a okay healer in the sense of the output. His damage is where he really shines. He does a lot of damage. His right clicks are outrageous. They do so much damage. And yeah, and then my favorite healer in the entire game, Jeff the Land Shark. I'm putting Jeff at an A. His survivability is lower than everybody else's in the healer ranking, but Jeff the Land Shark has a great left click heal. It heals groups great. It's very satisfying to use. His E is even better because it's like a bubble that he drops, and it's like a health pack pretty much. No one picks them up, which is terrible, but it's like a health pack, and if you pick them up, they're treated like Ononades, where they do more. They help you heal faster. So yeah, I think Jeff the Land Shark is a good healer. I think he's about A tier, maybe B tier on some people's tier list. But I like him overall, and I think he's gonna be very effective in the game when it comes out. So yeah, overall, these are my rankings for the game. I'm super excited to play this game when it drops, and I will probably be making more content for this. So yeah, make sure you check that out, and thank you for watching my video, and have a great day.